Odds are, if you find yourself watching this video, you have some time to kill. Or maybe you're watching YouTube to procrastinate right now. Either way, there's a good chance you're on here because you want to have an escape from real life. I've been there. It's a totally normal tendency to have. It's actually highly beneficial to take breaks as it helps prevent burnout. As you go through life, you should ideally be able to enjoy every day, but it's important to spend time daily building your future as well. Finding a balance between these two things is a complicated process. A great way to work towards this balance is by finding a good hobby. The cool thing about hobbies is that most of them have no skill ceiling. You can work at them and never discover all they have to offer. While you could work to sharpen your skills for 5 decades, there is always going to be another discipline within the hobby that you can get better at. So, what separates a hobby from work? Well, a hobby is entertaining. A hobby can provide you an adrenaline rush, like in mountain biking, or a sense of satisfaction like what you would get when learning to play a song on the piano. A hobby is also an excellent way to connect with like-minded people and socialize. This is in stark contrast to pure entertainment, which does little for you except hold your attention. In moderation, consuming passive entertainment can be a good thing. However, it's very easy to overdo it and make it a primary pastime. A good hobby does the same thing as entertainment, but leaves you feeling satisfied because you will have either gained a skill or have come away with something to show for your time. Another great attribute of a good hobby is that your experience evolves over time. If you started drawing, your experience during the first week when you're figuring out what you like to draw is going to be much different than when you've honed your craft and can draw at the stream of thought without worrying about your technique. Contrast this with a movie. You sit down, you stare at a screen. You may laugh a couple times, and then it's over. You don't talk to other people, even if they're sitting right next to you. You're not improving your physicality. You're not practicing patience. And 99% of the time, you're not going to grow as a person. So, how do you find something meaningful to get better at? There's a bunch of videos on YouTube about ideas for different things you can get into, so I won't give you an exhaustive laundry list. But what I will do is try and advise you on how to find a good one, and give a couple of examples. I've already alluded to it earlier in the video, but the key to it is this. You need to find something that is both enjoyable to do in the moment and productive over time. If you don't already have a hobby that involves exercise, you should start here. Your mind is connected to the health of your body in so many ways, and so if you only have time for one extra thing in your schedule, let that thing be something active. If you already go to the gym or are into some other hobby that keeps you healthy, like skating, look into hobbies that you can do while in your idle time. Think about the time that you would normally be using to scroll on Instagram Reels. Find something that truly interests you, something that you can pick up and resume whenever. Something that leaves you with skills you can build on. Some examples of this would be reading, playing an instrument like the guitar, drawing, writing, photography. Some skills like video production or drawing could also be a good side hustle down the line. Now, once you find something you enjoy, the next most important step is finding a community of people to enjoy it with. Oftentimes, it's not the hobby itself that keeps someone interested, it's the friendships that it builds. Other people drastically augment the hobby, changing things up and providing you with a designated time to get better at whatever you're doing. If you're meeting every week with your buddy to practice playing your instrument, odds are you're going to have a lot more fun than just playing by yourself, and it will give you the motivation to practice beforehand. One thing I feel the need to say here is that video games are not a hobby. It is true they are more interactive than videos and movies. They can also connect you with friends and improve hand-eye coordination, but that's about where the benefits stop. At the end of the day, they are manufactured experiences designed to hold your attention for as long as possible. They are carefully crafted to release as much dopamine as possible, keeping you hooked and sitting at a desk or on the couch for long periods of time. Like more traditional entertainment, they are okay in moderation when you need to take a break from real life. However, If you're relying on video games to cure your boredom, you'll find that it becomes harder and harder to find satisfaction in everyday tasks. My recommendation would be to find at least one thing that you can do besides consuming content in your idle time. Now, you may think that you don't have time for a hobby, but the very fact that you're watching this video means you have time which you could be putting towards something else. Most of the time, whatever you could be doing is going to do much more for you in terms of gratification and personal development than any YouTube video ever could. If you have a hobby that you put down, pick it back up. Experiment with different disciplines. Try something that you think you're going to be really bad at, just to see how it goes. Enjoy the process, and I think you'll look back in a year at a bunch of progress and a lot of good times. Let me know what you thought of this video. Subscribe if you want to see more like it.